Welcome to hell. This is a sign Brazilian first responders held up for travelers at the Rio airport yesterday, just over 5 weeks before the Summer Olympic Games get underway. Police say that they are underpaid. Rio's acting governor admits the games could be a, quote, big failure because of budget shortfalls. And now the doping control lab there, set up to make sure the athletes don't cheat, is closed. Ben Tracy got a look inside before it was shut down.
This is Rio's brand new $66 million doping control lab.
Will these machines be running 24 hours a day during the Olympics?
24/7.
Francisco Radler is the lab's director. He was eager to show it off to us earlier this month, touting its technology.
How sophisticated is this doping lab?
One can say it is the most sophisticated of every laboratory, which is something that has to happen for the Olympic Games.
But now, just 2 weeks after we interviewed him, the lab has been shut down. The World Anti-Doping Agency, or WADA, made that stunning decision just 6 weeks before the games begin, saying it was due to nonconformity with the international standard for laboratories. WADA will not provide any details on what exactly was wrong.
It is a problem to have the lab being suspended less than 2 months before the games. But it would be a bigger blow to have a lab in the games that's not technically perfect.
Doping control labs worldwide are under increased scrutiny after the World Anti-Doping Agency published a report accusing Russia of an elaborate government-run doping program, including infiltrating the lab at the Sochi Olympics to help its athletes cheat. Russia's entire track and field team has been banned from competing in the Rio Games.
If this lab is not reopened in time for the Olympics, what kind of impact will that have on the Games?
If it truly is not reopened, it's a disaster.
Don Catlin ran the doping control labs at the Salt Lake City and Atlanta Olympics. He says if the Rio lab remains closed, samples will have to be flown daily to another lab, likely in the United States or Europe. Rio's lab was expected to process 6,000 samples during the 3 weeks of the Games.
I mean, nobody wants to do this. It's a real pain in the neck.
Even if this lab is back up and running, does it call into question their results when the Games begin?
Well, fortunately, it does.
Running and he's
Rio's lab was also shut down before the 2014 World Cup. But that was due in part to obsolete equipment, which has since been replaced. In a statement, the lab said it asserts its excellency as well as its ethics and technical capacity. But for now, this once lauded lab is idled. Another black eye for Rio before the Olympic cauldron is even lit. For CBS This Morning, Ben Tracy, Rio de Janeiro.
Wow, I'm glad we got a look inside that lab. But when I read that they had shut down that lab, I thought this is crazy to have an Olympics and not be able to test the athletes.
When it seems like you need it more now than ever before.
Agreed.
Makes no sense.
Agreed.